Hello, I am Olivia. I come from a former Soviet country in Eastern Europe that doesn't have a coastline. This country, with an area of 207,600 square kilometers, is bordered by Latvia to the north and is within the borders of Russia, with a registered status in Poland. Although officially known as the Republic of Belarus since gaining independence in 1991, it has been labeled as the last dictatorship in Europe by the global press. The country has a population of approximately 9.5 million, and the president of Belarus serves as one of the 29 countries. In 2012, the then German Foreign Minister Westerwelle referred to Belarus's leader as a dictator, and later he himself stated, "I am Europe's last and only dictator." Belarus is divided into 6 regional divisions, and its capital has a special city administration. Geographically, it is mostly flat, with over 80% consisting of plains. The absence of valuable minerals poses economic challenges. The demographic structure reveals that about 84.9% of the population, which is around 9.5 million, is composed of Belarusians. Russians make up 7.5%, and the remaining 7.5% belong to other nationalities. The majority of the population, 90%, is Christian, but surveys indicate that 40% do not associate themselves with any religion. State-restricted religious practices during the Soviet era have generally led to a limited role of religion in Belarusian society. As of today, in the 6 countries where women's population growth is highest, the total working hours for women are recorded at 53.8%, higher than that of men. Women constitute 34% of registered unemployed, while men make up 66%. In daily life, Belarus is a society where Belarusian and Russian are the official languages, but Russian is prevalent. However, approximately 85% prefer Belarusian, the active language in Belarus, while only 20% prefer to speak it. Many people face difficulties in speaking this language, and their writing skills are limited. For many years, Belarusian was considered a circulating language among the people, but after Lukashenko came to power, he organized a referendum to restore the old state emblem and national borders. English is observed in the capital, Minsk, and major cities, but is almost non-existent in other regions. The currency of the country is the Belarusian ruble, which was once equivalent to 10.41 Turkish lira. The minimum wage is 554 Belarusian rubles, approximately $220, and the average salary is $250. In the capital, Minsk, this figure is around $450–500, but only 20% of the people in the city have this level of income. In other regions, the average salary generally drops to $200. Minsk is known as one of the cheapest cities to live in Europe. Despite low salaries, solutions provided to the registered population make life easier. Advantages such as free healthcare, free education, cheap electricity, and financial assistance to families with children do not indicate a policy encouraging labor migration in Belarus. In Belarus, almost every city boasts ice skating rinks and ice hockey arenas, making it a country known for its natural beauty, dubbed the Europe's nature. When Russia imposed a gambling ban, Belarus saw a surge in gambling tourism, becoming increasingly popular in this domain. Belarusians have long been known as some of the heaviest alcohol consumers globally. However, with decreasing rates of alcoholism, even entering the metro while intoxicated is prohibited, affecting 18.8% of the population. Furthermore, Belarusians have the lowest average life expectancy in Europe. They generally eating habits, with diets heavily reliant on potatoes. Belarus ranks among the top consumers of potatoes worldwide, with an average annual consumption of 178.3 kilograms per person. Many Belarusians try to support their families by growing potatoes on small plots of land. Additionally, superstitions abound among Belarusians, such as the belief that failing to clean your house after a guest leaves will banish them from your life forever. Belarusian culture is rife with superstitions, like the belief that if a young woman sits at the corner of a table, she won't marry for the next 7 years. The Sviatki holiday is significant for Belarusians, known as Pancake Week. During this holiday, meat consumption is forbidden, and only fish and dairy products are consumed. Belarus ranks 5th globally in per capita production, attracting tourists who often note that Belarusians rarely smile and appear stern and serious. Despite enduring numerous calamities and invasions throughout its history, The capital has been rebuilt and is now known for its wide avenues and orderly layout. Traffic congestion is nearly non-existent. Tourists visiting Belarus for more than 5 days are required to register their accommodations. Otherwise, they may face fines upon leaving the country. Belarus is known for its strict regulations, with frequent patrols on the streets due to security concerns. It stands out as the only country in Europe that still implements the death penalty, primarily for crimes such as murder, treason, and terrorism. In a country where 6 presidential elections have been held, it has become nearly impossible for Alexander Lukashenko to win each time. Opposition figures are generally unable to participate in elections, and those who do often face various charges leading to imprisonment or a ban on candidacy. Election results are often unrecognized due to allegations of irregularities. The question of how Lukashenko came to power, gaining the trust of the people, is linked to the economic crisis that emerged when the country separated from the Soviet Union. With Belarus facing an economic crisis following its separation from the Soviet Union in 1991, the reduction of Soviet support led to the bankruptcy of factories and businesses, impacting public sentiment towards the government. Lukashenko promised change by modernizing the former Soviet system, winning the support of the people. 2 years after taking office, Lukashenko strengthened his power through a referendum, weakening the parliament he would control. Today, the opposition holds no seats in the parliament. However, Lukashenko's administration frequently left the country in difficult situations due to economic crises. Sanctions imposed by the West and a portion of the population demanding change led to criticisms of Lukashenko's leadership. The 2020 elections, in which Lukashenko claimed victory with 81% of the vote, resulted in protests with allegations of election fraud. Thousands were arrested. In May 2021, Lukashenko forced a dissident journalist traveling from Greece to Lithuania through Belarus to land in Belarus with a fake bomb threat and subsequently detained him. In response, the European Union imposed bans on flights passing through Belarus. This situation made Belarus one of the least visited countries in Europe, with only a limited number of flights to specific countries. Simultaneously, Lukashenko made it nearly impossible for supporters of the European Union regime to set foot in the region by freezing their assets and prohibiting them from traveling to the European Union. The defiance of this regime is rooted in the concept of a single nation with 2 states, established in 1999 between the 2 countries, where Lukashenko pledges allegiance to Vladimir Putin. Since 1995, there has been no border control between the 2 countries, and Belarus is heavily dependent on Russia economically. Belarus exports over 70% of its products to Russia in exchange for cheap oil, natural gas, and raw materials. Consequently, economic downturns in Russia directly affect Belarus. Belarus, a nation that sacrificed a quarter of its population for the Soviets during World War II, has roots in giving lives and making various sacrifices for Russia. Additionally, the country was significantly affected by the 1986 Chernobyl disaster, even more than Ukraine. A quarter of the country's land is contaminated, a fifth of fertile agricultural land is destroyed, and a large portion of the southern border has been abandoned due to radioactive pollution. Despite all these tragedies, Belarus is still referred to as the lungs of Europe. Approximately 43% of its land is covered by forests, and 12.3% consists of peat bogs that rapidly absorb carbon dioxide. I hope you enjoyed the video. You can find the sources for all the information shared in the description section. Don't forget to write down the countries you find important in the comment section. We'll explore the world together. Just subscribe to my channel to not miss my new videos. Until the next video, goodbye.